All right, good morning. The time is now roughly about 5:45 a.m. I admit I turn into a bit of a survivalist during these kinds of trips. Not that I have any experience nor any practice to properly do it, but today I'm going to be driving 3.5 hours to Billings, Montana by myself, which I love travel. Don't get me wrong, love travel, but being ADHD and everything else along with it, I become very aware of how rural Montana really is, and it puts you in a survivalist instinct. So here in my car, I of course have a weapon, not for people, but more for animals. I have a large blanket. I have proper winter gear to keep me warm. Even though apparently today, just a week before Christmas, we're experiencing 50-degree weather, which is ridiculous for Montana, and usually means that our summers are going to be extra short or start extra late, just because of this incredible weather condition. I also have a go bag, and that go bag is full of every survival tool known to man. And I mean everything from multiple knives to multiple resources to starting fires to multiple food options that will last several years to ways to keep warm. I mean, just everything that you can think of. And that always puts my heart at ease. So I'm headed out of town now. Literally, the direction I'm heading to is pitch blackness into the depths of Montana and the Montana mountains. And we're going to be in Billings, Lord willing, in about 3.5 hours. And we'll get started on today's job. Here's something else I find interesting about Montana. And I don't know if I can even show you here. See the blinking lights in the distance? That is apparently 3 aircraft flying one behind another. I can't tell what they are. But you see lots of stuff like that out here in Montana, believe it or not. Alright, the next part of our journey takes us through a place called Judith Gap. Now, I would say that this has the least amount of use when it comes to mountains, but when it comes to windmills, there's tons here. And a lot of people, when they're worried about driving through Montana, they worry a lot about Judith Gap because it comes with a lot of wind, which would make sense why you'd have a lot of windmills in the area. We store up an awful lot of energy here and sell it in Montana. Now, for Great Falls and other areas, we use hydro power, so we have some beautiful rivers and we have some dams that take up energy through the water. And then in other places, we rely heavily on our windmills that we have out here. So I'll show you that when I pass them. We got a ways to go to get to there, but we're heading towards Judith Gap. All right, just a quick stop here in Judith Basin, or Judith Gap, to show you something pretty sweet. Just to kind of give you an idea of what we're about to see as we get into Judith Gap here a little bit deeper. Sorry about the wind. I am standing next to an incredible feat of technology made out of what looks to be fiberglass and carbon fiber. That is a propeller, a single propeller for the incredible windmills that we have out here. Just imagine the size of this thing. Let's come down to the base of this and show you this, where it bolts in to this thing. It's taller than I am, and it's super long. So we're going to be getting a little bit more into Judith Gap here, and as we get deeper into it, we'll actually see some windmills. And I just want you to remember the size of this thing. That is absolutely huge. It really sets the idea of what you're about to see. It's pretty cool. There's really no way to describe how many there are here. But once again, I remind you about what we just stood in front of a few minutes ago. And you gotta understand, these look much smaller than that single blade was, but they are just that huge. And they are intense. And out in a humongous amount. Look at that thing. Anyway, one thing I forgot to mention about these windmills is I have watched these guys take these propellers through the mountains, and I'm talking through the mountain passes, 2-lane roads with ridiculous twists and turns, and those propellers, they have to transport them through the mountains, one propeller at a time, with a humongous convoy of people running different parts of their operation. I am such a study of color. Just like I'm such a study of music, I'm also such a study of color. I love looking into the distance in this scene and seeing what can only be described as blue snow-covered mountains. Blue snow-covered mountains. And if you can imagine a little bit, there's traces of purple in there, there's traces of green in there, there's traces of all kinds of colors in those mountains. And then if you imagine getting closer to them and how they change as you get closer, the atmospheric mist that causes, colors to depreciate from the eyes. It's just absolutely beautiful. Well, I guess we are going to vlog more of this than I was anticipating. I'm actually excited about this. I talked with Mark, who is the guy in charge of all this and makes all this happen. And he's like, yeah, please go ahead and vlog it. So I'm like, okay, I'm all in. So we're inside their studio where they intend to do a podcast and video production. So I'm going to assist them in setting it up. This is going to be so much fun because my wife just texted me. The nerd in me totally loves this. It is a stash of all of their gear that we're going to be setting up for them. Rode Procaster 2, perfect, with some excellent microphones with the RE320s. Love these things. They're going to be great mics. And some really excellent headphones from some Sennheiser. And going to be setting up some general camera gear and things like that. I am going to have so much fun today. Okay, this turned out way better than I expected. I have two amazing people here with me, except I look very blue. This is Mark. This is Kent. Now, let me give you the lowdown on this. First off, I come meeting these complete strangers, and they tell me about a friend that's been a part of my family for the last 20 years, 30 years plus. I love this. Do me a favor, Mark. What is PAR Ministries?
PAR Ministries stands for Power for Abundant Recovery Ministries. It's authentic, Christ-centered addiction recovery groups. And so what we're doing here is a part of our international outreach, setting up our podcast studios.
We're making a mess is what we're actually doing right now, but we're getting there. And Kent, you've been kind of in my world. We're both radio guys. We're both media guys. And what are you doing now?
What am I doing now? I do a lot of stuff. I'm doing their radio program. I do another one called Foxhole Ministries with Dave Howard. And then I do our Churches Take 5 program. So I'm doing 3 programs and more.
Cool. I told you guys I wasn't sure if I was going to vlog this, but I'm definitely going to have to vlog some of it now. I'm going to show you what it looks like here on my little camera, because that's basically what you're going to see in the final edit. So I'm going to record this side here. This is going to be roughly what it would look like.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to aim an angle of you, which is going to be something like this, zoomed in. So let me zoom in a little bit. Now it's going to be so dark because of my camera. Let me make a change here.
So once we get our studio lights in,
it'll make a big difference.
Right. So do you want to use those lights that we have?
Go stand over there. I would suggest that we need to get you some lights that do the same light as that color.
Okay.
Tungsten lights. Tungsten lights are going to be your win.
Because they're not cold.
Right.
That's what I like about it. We have.
All right. Just wanted to really quickly show you the outside of this place. Really, really awesome place. Really appreciate Mark and Kent. They were absolutely awesome. We have more to do. This is not a one-day job. So I'm off to go do some shopping for some extra toys that they're going to need. And then we'll be back tomorrow to continue this this little foray and getting them set up into podcasting. This is absolutely awesome, though. I am loving this. This is a good day. Very good day. But let's get to Best Buy. They have a Best Buy here. We don't have a Best Buy in Great Falls. They have a Best Buy here. No joke. It's been years since I've been to one of these. I'm looking forward to this. I'm not going to lie. I've never spent more money on a client ever. $900 later, I have 2 of the 3 cameras that we need to get their podcast up and running. That was quite a day. Thankfully, I have a hotel room to stay in. I'm going to go find myself some dinner, get myself settled in, and yeah, this place just bought me out of house and home. I think my bank account's empty. Sheesh. But at least he'll be taken care of. I'll get paid back pretty quickly, and he'll be able to get his stuff going and get his podcast the way it needs to be. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, because this is when we can show him what we can do with a little bit of extra professional gear or reasonably professional gear. I got him some Sony ZV-1Fs, which are consumer cameras, but they should do the job just fine. Oh boy, well, this didn't quite go as planned. So that wonderful bunch of cameras that I bought, I wanted to make sure I opened up the boxes, and they were not the model that was advertised for the price tag that I bought them for. I went back inside, double-checked, and they had the wrong camera on the wrong display, and they had the model number covered up where you couldn't tell anyways. So I had to return $800 in cameras, which absolutely stank. A whole bunch of cables that we won't need right now because we don't have the cameras. So yeah, that was a failure. In any case, I am in my hotel room. Very thankful that I wasn't planning on being in a hotel room. I was either planning on being home today, or I was going to stay at a friend's place. And they're like, no, we got you taken care of. And they hooked me up with a hotel, which is very, very sweet of them. So I'm here. I'm settled in for the moment, but I need to find some food. I was going to go try something like Texas Roadhouse or something, because I have that here in town. But I think I'm just going to take it easy and find something cheaper, simpler, because where's the fun in sitting around at a hotel, in a restaurant, without your wife with you, you know? Sitting by yourself. Unless it's something really fun. I can see myself enjoying a buffet of some sort, but where are you going to find a buffet after 2020? Very unlikely. So, at least in Montana. So I'm going to go find some grub, and then I'll come back, and maybe I'll edit this together and post it or something. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do next, because here's the problem with Montana. It's pitch black outside, but it is 5:30. 5:30. Pitch black. That's Montana. 5:30. That is exactly what I'm talking about. 5:30, and there's nothing outside. So I'm going to go attempt to enjoy the town, find some kind of food somewhere, and then I'll come back and doctor up some editing. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm back. That did not go the way I planned in the slightest. On my way to go and look at the Asian place, I got a nosebleed. No joke. I hope there's no blood left there. Might still be on my hand. And then decided, no, let me go to Panera Bread. I'll get myself this cool bread bowl soup that I used to love when I lived in a place that had Panera Bread. They're out of bread. So then I decided, dadgummit, I'm getting Olive Garden. So now I have Olive Garden. And now I'm going to sit, eat, and wrap this vlog up here. Everything's great, but yeah, I'm getting pooped. And I would like to try to edit this together tonight and possibly get it uploaded. So I love you guys. Keep it crispy, First Tim 412. I'll see you in the next one. If you happened to enjoy anything about this video, hit that like button. It would mean a lot to me. That way I know if I should keep it up or not, because technically I consider this second channel content, or more importantly, member content. So if my members like it, let me know. If not, let me know. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.